when you have to get the shot, it does funny things to your head and
Yeah.
your arms, right? It's a crazy thing.
I didn't know I was going up against guys that own courses and
Right,
were plus
exactly.
three handicaps. Like,
There's some
I'm a
ringers.
podcast guy, man. Like our skill level is a little different. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Whole Story Podcast. Jonathan, how are you doing this morning?
Not too bad. It's gotten cold again in the south here, and I've got my heater on underneath the desk. But other than that, yeah.
Yes. When we are recording this, middle of March, this will actually it's coming out next week because it's part of our game improvement series,
That's
right?
right.
And we talked to James Murphy with Uneekor, and I know you did not get to make it to the PGA show. I said this to James, but they seriously were one of the most impressive things that I saw at the PGA show. I went to meet people, got to meet James, got to meet so many great people. But as far as products and stuff go, this one was impressive, right? What they are doing with their simulators, all the technology that they are putting into this stuff, like it is impressive. And you'll hear stories about that in this podcast episode.
Yeah, every time we talk to someone like this, for those of you who have been listening and watching for at least the last couple of months, I have a net and a screen and everything, and I'm on the website during the show going, could I convince my wife to go ahead and get this? And then there's AI involved that can maybe fix my swing. So, on top of incredible technology, James, what an incredible, just an incredible guy. We talk about a lot, like after a show being, I wish we could just like tee it up with him, the next person we're talking to. And, just an authentic individual who, fell into golf because of family and is still, just really using that as his sort of a tool, I would think, to continue to grow his family, to be closer. And, yeah, I'm ready to take a trip to the UK to play the golf course you mentioned just down the road.
For sure. And I guess we should probably thank George, right? His 10-year-old son,
Right.
right? Because if he hadn't have said 5 years ago, Dad, I want to play some golf, he might not have gotten to this point where he
Right.
is. So, George, if you happen to be listening, thank you for this and keep up the golf. Use the technology because it'll help you get better and you won't be old like us and still not at that
Still
point.
not
So,
good.
many thanks, George. No, this was a great one. Everybody, you will like this. If you like these type of stories, do take a minute to like and review all this stuff on whatever podcast platform you're listening to, because that helps whatever the algorithm, talking about software and all this other stuff. It helps the algorithm put it in front of more people. So to share stories like this, it helps when there are good reviews from people that are already listening. So thank
Yep.
you for that. Many thanks to our friends at Summit Golf Brands. I just got to hang out with them recently at the Old Barnwell Derby match play that Beads sponsors. It was an honor to be there again. This is the second year they've done it. And really, we got to help make that connection. And they are now incredible mission partners, not just for that tournament, but the course, Summit Golf Brands, all the above. They are doing some incredible things outside the game, but using the game of golf for some good stuff. So, if you guys want some stuff, you probably do, go to any of their websites, Beads Zero Restriction, Fairway and Green, and use BestBall 20 on when you're checking out, and you'll get 20% off. Again, it's awesome stuff. So go check those things out. But yeah, let's jump to our interview with James Murphy with Uneekor. Y'all enjoy. All right, well, joining us on the whole story today, James Murphy from Uneekor. James, how are you doing today?
Yeah, really good, guys. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And you had just mentioned that you are on the other side of the pond from where we are. And for those that are not watching, I guess seeing an office won't give it away, but the accent probably will. So where is home for you?
Yeah, on the sunny south coast of the United Kingdom, so right at the very bottom of the country, in a town called Bournemouth. So we're
What's
right
golf
by
like
the
there?
beach. Yeah, golf's great. Actually, we've got some really good courses nearby, and whilst the weather here is pretty rough with lots of rain, actually it doesn't get really, really cold. So we can play all year round. Probably the challenge we would have is some of the courses with some flooding and bits and pieces like that. But we don't struggle with the snow and ice really so much these days. So mainly just a bit of water.
There we go.
Well,
Well,
what is your
yeah.
version of colds? Because some part, like we're in the South, so our version of cold is like 50 degrees.
Yeah, so what would that be? Celsius versus centigrade. I mean, I guess anything at freezing point for us. I mean, my son and I, we played just a little local par three a month ago, and the whole of the green was ice and frozen. And actually, after every putt, you had to pick the ball up. It was like a snowball growing bigger, and shake it off and dust it off and put it down. And another little. Oh, it was brilliant though. It was so good. It was one of those mornings where the sky was clear, the sun was coming up. We'd got up early. We felt we'd beat the world out of bed, and it was just my son and I just playing a par three. He's only 10. So it's really great. Nice distances, probably, on average between 110 and 150-yard holes. So yeah, it was a great morning. And that was cold for us, right? We were in a few layers, hats, some extra gloves. Yeah,
It's
perfect.
Sounds
totally
perfect.
worth it though.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yep. Well, yeah, obviously you love golf. Where did that start for you? Like, did you grow up playing the game?
No, so actually I discovered it really late. In fact, only really been playing 3 or 4 years on a regular basis. I grew up, crazy on sport, and played loads of rugby. I mean, we're crazy on that over here in the UK. Played that from a really young age, right the way through into my early 40s, playing kind of veteran rugby, but had many injuries and couldn't play anymore and had my neck fused, broke my shoulder a couple of times, hands, all kinds of bits and pieces. And my son at 5 had just joined school, and he came home from school, and George, and he said to my wife and I want to play golf. And we were like, "Oh, okay." And he said, a couple of friends are playing down. It's on a Tuesday night and at the local golf club, and they had a junior academy there, and you could play, X amount per month, and you'd have an hour. There was like 7 or 8 of the kids had an hour with the pro every night, so on a Tuesday night, excuse me, once a week. And I just got the bug with him. I was like, this is great. I mean, I'd swung a club before, but not really, and started kind of hitting some balls. And before you know it, I was reaching out to the club pro saying, "Oh, I'd like a lesson." And of course, he was like, "All right, worried your son's getting better than you." And I was like, "Yeah, actually, I see this as something that maybe we can really do together." And yeah, just got the bug, and I've been playing ever since.
That's great. And that's really cool that you guys have done it together. And don't worry, if he's not already, he will be beating you. My almost 21-year-old son is doing that for sure. So yeah, it happens. And he hits it farther and all this other stuff. So um well, you have taken that maybe, and I don't know when you started with Uneekor, but you are the global marketing leader for this company called Uneekor. So for
Mm.
those that aren't familiar, I had the pleasure of meeting you down at the PGA show. And again, you're surrounded by a ton of people because y'all are introducing some awesome things that we're going to get into. But for those that haven't heard or seen Uneekor, describe what the company is and what it's all about.
Yeah, so founded in South Korea and brought to the US in 2015. And ultimately, we create golf simulators, but some real kind of pioneering launch monitor, camera-based technology, and a huge focus on software. So yeah, we had some incredible launches and announcements actually at the PGA show, which just humbled all of us actually with the not just the interest in everything that we're doing, but the community building around everything that we're doing. Actually, the amount of people that took time to come onto our booth to talk about their relationship with Uneekor, the products that they've purchased, the businesses that they're running, the success that they're having, the community, and everything that's building. So yeah, we make ground-based launch monitors to overhead. We sell sim kits, the whole software and everything to create that really immersive experience, whether you're a home user or a commercial facility or somebody a pro looking to bring your knowledge of your game to that next level.
Yeah.
Was
Well,
was
I was going to say, Jonathan, before you ask your question, I don't want to like because we have you on the podcast feel like I'm saying this, but visiting that day during your presentation and watching, I can't remember what his name was, but he gets in there and he's just practicing, but using the AI technology, and it
Yeah.
was. I've told so many people like it was probably the most impressive thing I saw product wise at the PGA show because Jonathan, like this guy was up there, he'd hit a golf shot and it said, "Hey, you're swaying a little bit. That's causing you to slice it or whatever else, or
Mm,
you're hitting it
mm.
inside the heel. Try this drill." And so it uses that AI technology. James, I thought it was incredible. So we can talk a
Wow.
little bit more about that, but it was awesome to watch. And I'm
Thank you
glad I was
so
not the one
much.
up there because it would have to do a lot of calculations to figure out what's wrong. So
Yeah, so that was Ethan Han in my
yes,
team. Yeah, he's a great golfer. He looks after our product marketing. He's an excellent guy all around. Just the complete package.
I figured y'all
Great
picked the best
golfer,
golfer on the team maybe to
great
go up there and do it.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, great presentation. Sure, he plays to a great level. I think he was D1 growing up. He obviously doesn't play golf so much now, but still is a steady +3, I believe. So
So he was having to force
That's
himself to
right.
not be in perfect form.
well, we were joking beforehand. I would say, Ethan, if you need some guidance on how to hit the perfect slice, I can step up and show you. But
Yeah.
yeah, we were so humbled. Actually, when you kind of put an event on like that, the first hour of the first morning on the Wednesday, you know, everyone's going to be busy, and almost, we kind of felt guilty doing it, but we were advised that that was the kind of the best slot, and we decided, look, let's go for it. We've not done a dedicated announcement before, but we're so proud of the story that we've got to tell from really our very humble beginnings, and actually the products, the software that we're bringing to market are truly uh, immersive and great. And Amy, of course, which we announced, genuinely is really going to try change the way people practice and improve their game, forever. And actually, it's not just about having an AI swing coach, because no, yeah, we've got AI trainer and that's incredible. And there's lots out there that you can look at. But actually the real art is the immersive conversational way in which Amy guides you. And actually that's something that I have really kind of learned in my career, and actually many of my lessons actually is kind of how engaging that experience is really dictates how you consume that information. And actually for us, the big focus is about, it doesn't matter if it is somebody who is using Amy to take their coaching to the next level and create more immersive experiences, whether this is somebody who wants to do almost like self-serve learning at home in their basement or their garage. Actually, our objective is to create the most engaging, immersive experience that's going to get the best out of them in that moment. And so, by that encouraging conversational approach, and of course, we all want to receive information in different ways. So actually, Amy is going to serve up a visual reference to show you your swing next to a pro swing, but also Amy's going to give you that data. Verbally, she's also going to talk through, as you mentioned, about maybe that kind of spine angle or head position, or kind of the wrist hinge or grip position, and bring it all together in a really immersive way that will help you improve your game and enjoy the process. But when we really think about it internally and we develop the software, actually the approach is very tried and tested, because if you go and see a coach, the first thing they'll say is, oh, grab a 7-iron. Here's a few balls in this basket. Just go warm up, and they're watching you and stuff. And then they might take a few videos, and then they might kind of draw a few little lines on there to show you your spine angle and this, that, and the other, and distance from the ball. And they might be reviewing some data in terms of club path. And actually, Amy's doing all of that in exactly the same way, but she's just doing it for you, and that just creates the most immersive experience for the person learning, and just a great tool for a coach too, to assist the whole lesson.
So I just got to know, what is your background that you can suddenly pick up a golf club when your kid turns 5, and then fast forward, I don't think your son's 20. So, you fast forward a couple years and
He's
suddenly,
he's 10, yeah.
yeah. So 5 years later, you somehow convinced your wife, hey, I'm going to go ahead and do this whole golf thing like all the way, because this has consumed your world now beyond just
Mm.
Tuesday lessons.
Yeah, we're pretty obsessed with sport generally, actually, as a family. It really is the glue. And my wife, I know netball's not a big thing for you guys. My wife, she played netball for England here in the UK, and my son George, he plays football in the Junior Premier League, which is a big deal over here. He's playing golf. He's also playing rugby. My daughter playing netball, and all my kind of past sports. And I think, yeah, I love sport. I love the psychology actually around individual and team performance. And I think, like so much of it, it's all about ball striking, and understanding, where you strike the ball and how you strike the ball. Now, that said, I'm by no means a great golfer. I'm still going around and shooting, 90 something occasionally. I think I shot 102 the other day and had an absolute shocker. So I'm by no means an expert, but yeah, I just love it. And it was a no-brainer for my wife. She was like, you got to do something you're really passionate about. And I think for me, that's the key. I genuinely love anything to do with marketing.
Yeah.
Anything to do with sport is just layering that even better and better on top of that. So the opportunity at Uneekor was an absolute no-brainer. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you, as a marketing person, did you decide to choose your AI and call her Amy so that way, like, guys would be like, well, I don't have a girlfriend because I play too much golf, but me and Amy spend a lot of time together.
That's brilliant. Yeah. No, that wasn't the thinking behind it actually, but as you can imagine, yeah, the correlation with Amy and a number of those different analogies was a great thing, and also to make the name very, very kind of accessible and normal, right? And yeah, everyone's swing coach now is going to be Amy.
That's
Yeah. Well,
fantastic.
does she have somewhere programmed in there to say you might want to consider something else? Like, is there a bad enough
Yeah.
swing where she says, try tennis or reading or whatever?
Well, if
Yeah.
anyone's going to discover it, it'll probably be me pretty soon.
Yeah,
So
I
I'll
was
keep you
thinking that.
guys updated with that.
Please do, please. Now,
Yeah.
is this technology? I know you said you can, you kind of range of your products can go from high end golf shops, places to go do indoor simulator type stuff, all the way down to the home. Is this technology available with everything?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, for sure. Actually, I mean, you're going to get a better experience with an overhead. So our XR unit, the way through. So XR, XO, XO2. So a range from 7,000 US dollars right the way through to 11,000 US dollars. However, it will also, actually, Amy will be supported with our ground-based units too. So actually, our iMini Lite, which is 2,750 US dollars. So, really accessible. You're going to have to buy some of our Club Optics cameras in addition to that. But ultimately, for us, it's about creating a really great experience at that kind of accessible price point to make this level of technology available to as many people as possible. And actually, the great thing is you can do it in a modular way. I mean, I was really fortunate, as you can imagine. I was sent a load of kit actually just before Christmas to set up in the garage, and before we'd got everything in place, I had literally put one of our iMini Lite units on a bit of hitting turf, and that connected up to a laptop. I didn't have the whole kind of the whole everything in place. The projector wasn't there. The whole kind of cage, everything for the sim kit. But yet my son and I were just hitting shots in the garage, just looking at it on the laptop, and that's really accessible, with a return net or something. So it's very modular. You can start and build and build and build, and that's what makes it so accessible and so great for everyone.
Um, I'm literally looking on the website while we're talking and then looking at my impact screen right in front of me. I'm really glad I put that little plug-in at the top for the projector concept. That sounds fantastic.
Go and order one, Jonathan. Very nice. Well, I know on top of the incredible technology and the announcements you made there, one of the big things, and I know you're really proud about, is the announcement of the Uneekor Junior Academy. And you had at the PGA show Bristol Tippins, who is
Yeah.
an ambassador, right, of this new program. So tell everybody about the Junior Academy.
Yeah, I think as established brands, we've got a real responsibility to give something back to that next generation and help them as much as possible. Um, and of course, naturally, as a father with young kids, like many do, you see that the opportunity and the help they need just in being able to afford the latest kind of kit, or if they're making some progress, actually just giving them a little step up on the stage to get some limelight and some visibility. So it's something that we feel really passionate about in Uneekor. And actually, the last two PGA shows, our favorite day has been on the last day when we've run the event with all the local colleges to come along and have the closest to the pin challenges and the tournaments that we've done to win our products. And actually, seeing the guys win that has just really energized all of us. And actually, last year having the team, ringing up their uh, like director of education and being like, we won, and she was like, let me pull over, let me hear the news, and those guys were so pumped and telling us it was the best day of the whole PGA show, and we're like, we've just got to support this. So yeah, we've set it up, and the view is that for us, how can we offer a really great discount where people can apply? We're going to manually go through. It's not just a case of, oh, this is a nice promotion. Actually, Ethan Hand manually looks at every single application that comes in, wants to understand, how can we work together? What can we do? How can we offer them some really generous discount, some swag? But also then when we're working with our PR agencies and stuff, how can we talk about this? Is there different players that are coming through? Can we give them a little shout out on social media and PR and give them some limelight and help in any way we can? So it's certainly something that we're really passionate about, we're really excited about, and is so important for the future of golf and the industry.
Yeah, and if you think about growing the game, I mean, you literally got into the game because of your 5-year-old at
That's right.
40
Yeah.
years old. And, if you're like the rest of us, Robbie and I are about 46, 47, and
Hmm.
we're hoping whenever we're out there with the guy that's still 90 years old hitting it 125 yards down the middle of the fairway, we hope to be that guy. And so, and I mean, my kids don't play golf. I didn't get into golf until later, so they were already sort of past that. But I'm already thinking, I really hope my grandkid wants to play golf. Like, I hope that
Yeah.
they want to get out there because not because I'm good at golf or maybe because they could be, but just from the idea of how could you spend more time with family? Like you mentioned,
Mm.
0 degrees, literally pulling snow and ice off the golf ball. But what a perfect morning to be able to spend that time with your son.
Yeah, unreal. And actually, in addition to that, a couple of things have happened. So golf is also kind of become our go-to family thing that all four of us do in the summer, and we'll go to the par three. My daughter, who's 14, my wife, the son. We go out. It's amazing. But actually, we've got really great sim kit set up in the garage, and I've been going in with my daughter, and suddenly she's got this real passion too. And she was saying, Dad, sometimes I find the range a bit intimidating. I'm really, enjoying coming in here with you. And then the other evening, my wife and I were in there, and so I think, you know, it's not just golf, is it? It's about something that kind of shared passion. Striking a ball with anything is fun, right? So
Right.
actually, if you can then see where it's going and have an element of competitiveness around it, an element of improving, and of course, more than ever, kind of looking at the screen and showing my daughter like that's club path and that's face angle and that's what that means and that's what that feeling, what that feels like. Actually, this is what's happening. Suddenly, there's that kind of real there's that real moment. And when you kind of talk, Jonathan, about for me, the decision, I was really fortunate that before I decided to take the role, I flew out to Irvine and met with the team and was having some conversations with the team, Uneekor, and I went into the green room where we've just got the most incredible setup. Um, and they were like, yeah, get to know the product, and I started hitting a few balls, and without saying cheesy, kind of sounding really kind of cliche, but it was that moment where I was like, oh man, this is massive. So for the first time ever, I was able to understand the relationship between the feel, the data, and the shot shape. And suddenly it's that moment where you're like, oh wow. Because how something feels and actually what you're doing is completely different. And actually even in some lessons like many and with some of my injuries and stuff, goofy swing, not a lot of hip rotation, and it's very easy to be really armsy with that kind of classic out to in. And of course, you're there, and I had lessons where the coach would be grabbing the club and be like, "No, out there," and I'm like, "No way, it's out there," And but actually, when you're there and you're over the ball and you're hooked up, and I'm taking these shots, and I'm like, that feels like I'm really aiming out there. And it's like, no, club path still isn't neutral. And then you hit a few more, and you're like, oh, so that's neutral. Okay. Oh, the ball's going dead straight. Oh, okay, right. And yeah, I mean, it's everything, isn't it? And I think it's that real correlation between data and feel is just mind blowing.
Yeah, most of
Jonathan,
my
one day we'll have that feel.
I was going to say most of the time I have a lot of ball path. It's usually hard left, and I've got a lot of feel, and it's usually anger. So someday maybe I'll be able to experience all the things other golfers talk about that pure shot. So.
Listen, you be nice to Amy, Jonathan.
I know. Well, that was my other thing. If you get your whole family involved, then you're like, listen, honey, this is Amy. I promise she's just a high swing coach. You spend some time with her too, and you'll find out she's great. So
You can
That's
imagine
great.
some conversations, right?
Yeah, I love the fact
There's
that it's allowed the family to come together. Like
that's so great.
that's probably the best part of all this, right? Like, I mean, golf is a relational game, and for us, like we love meeting people like yourself because one, yes, it's cool to hear about great things, great products, and great brands, what y'all are doing, but two, like meeting people. Like, I mean, the best part of the golf when you're out there playing is the time on the course with people. So I think that's a great way that y'all are using your product to bring more people together.
Thank you.
It's a
I
great,
think
great marketing pitch too. You could be like, listen, if you want to spend more time with your family, you should get one of our Sims, and then your whole that way, then no one complains about you being gone in the garage for 3 or 4 hours because it's family time.
yeah, well it's kind of double that, isn't it? Because you're
Yeah,
absolutely right. First of all, it's about creating those kind of great moments in the home, or even if you're in a commercial facility where the whole family can go hang out,
yeah,
and we would often go do bowling as a family or go to the cinema, well, go play golf, right? It's still fun. But actually I think when from a marketing point of view, it's always really important to understand what is it the problem that you actually solve as a brand of a business. And I think for us, actually, it's about that kind of that target audience that is he, for example, that is very, very competitive, but also strives for real balance in his life. Actually, he wants to be really great at golf, and maybe there's a corporate golf day coming up at on the Friday, or maybe he's playing with his pals on a Saturday. He wants to play well, right? And we've all been there at the range on a Thursday evening. I'm discovering this, right? With the small bucket of balls, just 50. I've just got to straighten the driver out before tomorrow morning, right? Whatever it is. But actually, through his, or her competitive nature, they also want to do greater work. And maybe there's a bit of travel because they've taken that meeting, across state, or maybe they've got to get that proposal out and they want to get home, and they want to put little George to bed, and they want to shoot some hoops with their daughter Harriet, and have dinner with the wife, and actually give them the ability to say, right, I'm just going down to the basement. I'm going to go to the garage for an hour. I'll see you in an hour. And that ability just to unlock, to play, to train when you want. That's the big difference. So really, it is about time. It's like, yes, it's time, with you all together with the simulator and playing, but actually, it's time because golf is so consuming. So it's about how can you kind of accelerate that learning and that preparation for your golfing journey.
Yeah. Well, we're big fans of data. We've been working with the folks at Arcos for a while and trying to learn, like, out on the course where the ball's going and why and what we need to do to get better. But the technology you guys are bringing to the game or have brought to the game, using the data to help people get better and have more fun at it is amazing. I asked this next question because I don't even know what the answer might be, but you've got AI, you're doing the Junior Academy, incredible, great products. What's next? What could possibly be next for what y'all could do?
Great question. I think the simulator itself is really, really important, and we're really proud of our hardware, and we will continue to um, bring great innovative products to market. And we've got some great things coming, down the line. But actually, software is absolutely critical. And when you really think about that experience, um, that everyone's not the same. And actually, the difference between the overall software experience and how you feel and the latency with hitting the shot and the graphics is absolutely huge. And for us, it's about really focusing on those little details. Really in investing in our team. There's all in house that are, many of them are ex gaming designers that all building everything on Unreal Engine. So for us, when you're stood there on the tee box on Pebble Beach, you can hear the noise of the sea. You can hear the winds. You can see the grass just kind of moving around. The little, maybe the delivery lorry or something going down the path in the background. And then that kind of ball behavior and how the ball lands and it leaves the divot. And if you get that spin, does it land and spin back? Actually, it's all of those elements that really come together subconsciously that create this very immersive experience. And I think that is the big focus for us because actually, as you mentioned there, it is data and it is improvement and it is about really honing and actually understanding your game and your swing and ultimately your ball striking, which is everything. But it's also about having fun. Um, and I never forget an experience I had a couple of years ago on I think it was Boxing Day, and I was teeing off with a pal of mine, and he was telling me about this particular VR golf game that he'd played all Christmas, with a headset on, and he was in the car park chat, and he was like, "Oh, I'm down to single digits handicap on there now and stuff." And I was like, "All right, okay," and we tee off, and he just shanks it straight into the bushes, and of course we're laughing. He's a better golfer than me, and we're laughing, and Christmas ball, breakfast ball, all the usual stuff. Steps up again, same again, straight in. And I looked at him and I was like, what club are you playing with? And he's like, oh, it's just a really short little. I was like, that's doing you no good, is it? He's like, no. And actually, I think for us,
Hmm.
it's about creating a really fun, engaging, enjoyment experience, but actually creating something where every single swing is still contributing towards your overall knowledge and ability. And that's the big thing for us, creating those great experiences. So that was a really long answer. Sorry. So I think it's
Well,
about creating really immersive experiences, but with complete accuracy and precision at the foundation.
Yeah, because
oh,
if you put me on Wii Golf or Wii Bowling, I'm amazing. But then if you
Yeah,
put an actual ball or club in my hand, it's terrible. So you're right, because you don't want to spend, you obviously get invested in those things. And then I can't imagine how frustrating it would be to go, man, I thought I was getting good at golf by doing this little
Yeah.
simulator thing, and then it goes out and none of it translates to the real world. But if you can't stand on the
Yeah.
real Pebble Beach, it'd be nice to stand on the. Now I got to get speakers too. I didn't even know. I'm looking around like trying to
Oh,
figure
yeah.
out where I'm gonna put everything. I'll get a
Absolutely.
fan with a mister. That way, if it's raining, I can. I'll
Yeah.
turn it into a whole experience.
And some neighbors to be shouting at you, come
Oh,
on!
my kids will come I've got 2 boys. They will absolutely come and just hassle me the entire time. We'll have a back off challenge on Pebble in the middle of a tournament.
Very nice. Yeah, Jonathan, they did a competition at the PGA show to try to win one of these, and I was not successful. On number 7 at Pebble Beach.
Was it closest to the hole?
Closest to the pin.
What was the distance?
Did you see
Don't
that
worry
we had
about
the
it.
same we had the same guy win it both days?
Did he really?
Yeah, so we had this guy.
He put it to like 2 feet, didn't he?
Yeah, I can't remember his name now. Please forgive me if you're watching. Yeah, on day one, he put it within about 2 feet on the Wednesday, and everyone was going wild, and it was amazing. It was a really great shot, and
Yeah, that
actually,
was a couple people before I went, so it was kind of deflating to see somebody stick it that close right away.
It was a great shot. And so it came to the Thursday, I think it was, and I looked across and I saw him in the queue and he looked at me and I looked at him and there was a smile and I was like, well, whatever. And he walked up, hole in one. First shot.
Wow.
And I spoke to him afterwards, and he actually owns his own course. He plays off of, I think he was +3, probably +4, and he was like, this is everything I've hit today. That is my shot. This is the most accurate,
Wow.
thing in here, and that for us in terms of validation of all the hard work, great. He won 2 units. That was brilliant. Everyone was roaring. I mean, actually on the last day, people were coming across being like, what have you guys been doing like on here? And we've just been having fun.
It is fun. And yeah, well done. Man, this was awesome. There's so many great things. We'll put links in the show notes to all the great things you guys have going on and the website and everything else. But before we let you go, we try to have some fun on the show. Jonathan, go ahead.
Before we go forward, Robbie, you got to answer the question. What was the yardage for the shot, and how close did you get to the hole? You can't leave us hanging there. We'd already heard the story.
Yeah,
like you.
I think it was. I think it was
like
106,
107 yards.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
approach wedge, gap wedge.
Did not hit the green. I was short.
What club did you use?
I don't even know.
No.
I was so nervous. Like I hadn't swung a club all day, and like I mean, granted, it's early in the morning, but I had just I did not hit the green. I did not win, Jonathan. Thanks.
I know you didn't win, but we still got to talk about it.
When you have to get the shot, it does funny things to your head and your arms, right? It's a crazy thing.
I didn't know I was going up against guys that own courses and were +3 handicaps. I'm a podcast guy, man. Like our skill level is a little different. Next year, I'm gonna get one. We're gonna practice. We're gonna come back next year.
We're gonna start practicing from 106 yards. 100%.
Yep. There you go. Well, downhill, the number 7 at Pebble, downhill, wind blowing everywhere. Who knows? So
we'll get fans.
All right. Well, James, speaking of great golf shots, we want to hear the story of your most memorable golf shot.
Ooh.
And we want it 2 ways. We want your real one and we want your virtual one.
Okay. My virtual one was actually, it was out in Dallas. We just set up our innovation center that we've got out in Dallas last summer, and I was there, and we were just opening up a few of the new bays, and it was, I think, 100-yard training shot, and I was there with just all the right people at the right time, and I stepped up and hold it and won. So that was nice. That was a nice little celebration moment. So I think that was great. But I think if I think about my favorite shot, it was the Telford Country Club and Spa in Birmingham in the UK, and it was my son's first ever round of golf on a big course. He was 8 years old. It was his birthday weekend, and my daughter was playing a big national netball competition, and my wife and I were like, oh my days, what are we going to do? It's George's birthday weekend. And I was like, "There's this golf course nearby," and we turned it into what was potentially going to be his worst birthday ever. To just the most amazing. And we stood on the first tee, myself and George, in the rain, in about an inch of mud, and I got the driver out and just opened that face and just whacked it and whipped it round the fairway, and it was just amazing. And I stood there and looked across, and George was just absolutely pumped. And I thought, yes, actually, probably the moment I wanted to do it more than ever and just nail it and drill it was then. And to make it even better, George did the same, and it was great. And we played
That's
our first
awesome.
round together, just the two of us, and it was so good.
That's
That's it.
perfect.
That's perfect. Yeah.
That is that is fantastic. Well, another thing we like to do to wrap up, we call it the quick nine, just a little back and forth.
Mm.
So, first question is, what is the favorite course you've ever played? And I'll double it again, both virtually and also in person.
Pebble Beach is just incredible. The whole experience virtually in game day is just so amazing with the sea noise and the scenery, and it's just great. Um, I think playing golf is not just about the course; it's about the moment, isn't it? Who you're with, what's going on. Actually, I played after the PGA show. We had a great show. It was amazing. I had one of my best pals was in Nashville. Very short notice. He flew into Florida. We stopped by. We played Hawks Landing, um, and we just had such a great round. I really enjoyed every minute of it. Played a great round with some great people, and that is as good as it gets for me. I think it's not necessarily the stature or the prestigiousness of the course. I think just the day, the moment, the feeling. Yeah, that was outrageous.
Yeah.
Nice. Have you played Pebble Beach in real life yet?
No, it's definitely probably one of, if not the course. One day I would absolutely love to.
Yeah. Well, that was the next question. The
Oh,
course at the
Pebble
top of
Beach.
the bucket list. Okay.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
figured if you
Pebble
hadn't played it
Beach.
already, yes.
Yeah,
It's high up on our bucket list as well.
yeah,
We'll meet you
yeah. I'd
there.
love to. It's a deal.
What is your favorite course that no one knows about?
About a 200-yard drive that way from my house is Queen's Park Golf Club. Um, it was actually on the European tour many, many years ago. Sebi Ballesteros has played on there. And it's no longer the course with that level of stature. And actually, a big main road into Bournemouth was carved through it many, many years ago. But now you can go out and you can play around on that course for £22. So like $35.
That's
And
great.
it is a public course, so you can walk your dog on it. So you're on there, you might be waiting for someone to walk past with their dog. There might be someone out for a walk, but it is just the most incredible course with different undulations and drops and twists. It's beautiful, and you can play it for peanuts. So next time you're in the UK, come down, find it. In fact, search it on the internet. It's incredible.
Yeah,
We'll do it.
100%.
Who would be in your dream foursome?
I think Grant Hovat for sure. I love his content, but I don't just love his content. I love the way he makes his guests feel. And I think that's such a big part of playing golf and who you're with and the energy on the day. And I think he does a really great job. I think he's got great chat, without doubt, an incredible player. Um, Luke Donald, for sure, the Ryder Cup captain. The stories I hear again about him, about the culture that he created within the team, the incremental changes he made around, delivering like the European team's own mattresses and pillows in and anything just to get the best sleep, but ultimately the culture he created within a team. I think to be around something like that, and my kind of passion for sport and sports psychology with both those guys, I think that would be a great round. and how could I not have George there as well, my son? He's got to come along, right? So that's if those guys are free, I'm ready.
It's a great
That'd
round.
be a great time. Yeah.
All right. What is your favorite snack at the turn?
I'm usually looking for a turkey sandwich.
All right.
Keep it simple, right? I think yeah, a banana, some fruit, a turkey sandwich, maybe a protein bar. Yeah, I keep it pretty simple. I'm usually after some carbohydrates of some description.
Yeah. All right. What is your favorite golf course logo?
Mm. I think the Royal Ascot Golf Club logo here in the UK is stunning. With the crown, and when you see it on the clothing and you see it on the course, I mean, it could be a brand in its own right. It looks so prestigious. I love it. But I have to say, the Masters logo uh, is also stunning. You know, I've got a real appreciation for something that can be refined and refined and refined to make it look really simple, but yet so iconic, a little bit quirky. I love it.
I just pulled up the Royal Ascot Golf Club. That thing's pretty sweet.
Yeah, what do you reckon, right? Coming
That's
round with the
awesome.
wreath, the crown. I
Yeah.
think it was established in 1800 and something, wasn't it? Right? And
1887. Yeah.
okay, so we've got the royal backing, the prestigiousness, the class. I mean, it could be a fashion brand in its own right. When you see it on all the clothing, it is just stunning.
Yeah. And the video of the course that's scrolling by looks pretty good too. So,
Yeah, there you go.
great course.
All right. What has been your favorite pro shop purchase?
Questions. Wow. Pro shop purchase. I think a hitting mat and some rubber golf tees and balls that we gave to George when he was young. And that Christmas, he just never put the club down. And you know, I think he was kind of in there constantly doing that. I bought some shoes recently, some really nice Under Armour shoes, no connection with the brand in any way. They are so comfortable. I think they're the best golf shoes I've ever had. So probably they're up there too in terms of me directly. Yeah. They look like
Nice.
trainers, but completely waterproof. So comfortable. In fact, I wore them for the whole time at the PGA show.
Yeah. Comfort is what matters at this point.
Yeah.
It is.
Yep. All right. What is one thing golfers should do?
I think stop and enjoy the moment. I think I'm really guilty always of thinking about the next thing and thinking about the next thing, and actually they're just such great moments, and we don't often get a chance to get out and wander around in the outdoors and the sunshine for 4 hours and catch up with pals or meet new people and have great banter. And so I think, yeah, really enjoy it. Not everyone's got the ability to get out there, so if you are out there, like, just take a moment to really relish it.
Robbie and I have been enjoying the woods recently looking for balls, but other than that,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
usually where I
often
find
asked if
myself.
There's good views back there.
That's right. Yeah, my wife's often asking what's happening in my town. I don't seem to caught the sun, and I'm like, well, there's not too much sunshine in the rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Last question. Finish this sentence. The best part of golf is
The people you meet.
100%
Yeah, for
agree.
sure. Oh, the people you meet. Yeah, even when I played after the PGA show in Hogs Landing, yeah, we were paired up with a couple of guys, and we just had the best time going round, and had some great golf. Grab a beer afterwards. I think that's what it's all about, isn't it? That kind of community, and ultimately, how golf just connects across so many different cultures and worlds and lives, but this kind of shared passion. So yeah, for sure, the people.
I love it.
Even now, this is great.
I know this is what it's all about, right? James, this has been outstanding. Thank you for doing this. Many thanks to Jacob for helping to coordinate all this, and for the invite to come see the great things you guys are doing at the PGA show. I'm excited about what y'all are doing. Tell everybody, and we'll put links in the show notes, where should they go to find out more about Uneekor?
Yeah, look, just search Uneekor on the internet, right? Find our web content, find our social content, find our website itself. It's all there to be discovered. We've got some amazing stories to tell, and actually our Uneekor series that we have on YouTube, supporting many of our partners and facility owners and coaches. They've got some far better stories than I could ever tell. So get over, look at those, and follow them and support them on social as well. And of course, Bristol and everything she's up to.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, we'll put links in the show notes, but this has been amazing. So thank you for joining us. So for James and Jonathan, this is Robbie. You guys have been listening to another episode of the Whole Story Podcast.